and welcome to In the Arts. The songs you just heard, as well, this show is dedicated to the memory of Sister Monica Parker. And she was performing on the song you just heard from her CD called Sweet Inspirations, and the name of the song is You Gotta Move. And she certainly enjoyed a long career here in the Bay Area and around the world, and it was well renowned in her lifetime. And we are dedicating the show to her passing in October of this year. And certainly she will be sorely missed from the musical community. And the subtitle for the show is called Women in Music. And she certainly was a prominent part of music and a good example of what women can accomplish in the role in this music. And as well as her accomplishments, I'm blessed to be in the studio here with three prominent vocalists who are making their contributions to the world of music, and certainly speaks gracefully with their talents and how they deliver and making their contributions. I would like to introduce them to you right now. On my first left is Danae Angelali and Lady Chico and Bridget Marie. And I'm so glad to have you ladies on the show. I'm almost speechless, not quite.
Thank you for having us, Will.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Uncle Will.
Oh, I feel blessed. Like I said earlier, to quote Muhammad Ali, I'm a lucky man. But anyways, what it's about is you guys have played prominent parts in your own right, and certainly are making a mark in the historic with music and whatnot. And I guess some of the areas I'm curious about, I'm sure maybe my viewing audience might be curious about, is first of all, your inspiration. How did you even come into music? What were your influences in the very beginning? And we can start with there, maybe, whatnot, and say like, Danae, what started you off in your influences?
Oh, well, I'm from Philadelphia. Everyone sang basically on my block. If you didn't sing, then you could get in trouble. Mm-hmm. I was basically brought up on Sun Ra, Pharoah Sanders, mm-hmm. Johnny Coltrane, and Miles Davis, mm-hmm. and I love jazz. Mm-hmm. But lately, the last 4 years, I've been doing a lot of blues, and mm-hmm. I developed a group called Diva and the Blazers. Mm-hmm. So I did about 7 festivals this year, so it's kind of paid off, and we're still together, and we plan on doing other gigs and things like that. I've also played with Uncle Eddie Gale. Mm-hmm. I'm on his CD. Mm-hmm. Basically, I do background on his, I think it's Ghetto Music remix. Yeah. And you're on it too. Okay, right, we're on.
Also, I'm proud to have you working with me from time to time.
Yes, I do work with my Uncle Will Nichols from time to time in San Gorio. We go all over the place. San Francisco when Velma's was available. Mm-hmm. And it's great because I really appreciate your style.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's the style I was brought up on. And it's difficult to find it in this area or the Silicon Valley area. So I ended up doing a lot of blues and some R&B.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. And, that certainly is a flavorful career, which is only started, and you make a contribution. Lady Chico, what do you think about that? How are you doing, and your inspirations? And
I'm just totally have to thank you first of all for having me here with the ladies.
My pleasure.
It's awesome to be in your presence, and I am from Houston, Texas, and I started I grew up in Los Angeles from elementary school to like the 8th grade, and then we moved back to Texas. And when I was there, but when I started singing in the 3rd grade, I went to church, but I never sang in church. And because those people were kind of mean at our church. And so I got my confidence in the 3rd grade, and I sang my first solo. And when I got those hand claps, I never stopped singing then. And then when we moved to Houston, I cut my first record when I was 14 years old. And I worked all the talent shows. My mom used to take us, me and my sisters, all around to all the radio stations. They used to hold these talent shows, and we went to all of the talent shows. And so that's where I really got my confidence up and everything. And then when I got married and moved to the Bay Area, I got the opportunity to be signed to Fantasy. Back in the late 70s, and work with the likes of Nardo Walden, Patrice Rushen, and remember those so many people in those days, and we had just a great time. And I love jazz, brought up on jazz. I sang with the Jazz Crusaders, myself with Mickey Howard.
They're from your hometown.
Yes, that's indeed. Houston. Mr. Wayne and Mr. Joe Sample, they both passed this year. You know, Joe Sample.
I didn't know that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And just so happened, my ex-husband's brother taught Joe Sample how to play keyboards.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and actually he was the first Crusader, but he couldn't go on the road because he ended up with kidney disease. And so that's when Joe Sample kicked in, and history is history.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Mr. Wayne Henderson produced everybody who was anybody. He started them off, you know. In the '70s, you know, from Narda to all of them, everybody. Hiroshima. So I'm a jazz person too. I love jazz. I love blues, and I also love all the new stuff. I'm a collective. I'm a collective type of artist, and I enjoy that. And I enjoy working my lady girls too.
Well, you see, that's certainly a rich past influence. I brought my family out here in the late '70s, and I wrote some stuff and tried to hook up there with fantasy records and whatnot. And this is a long story with that, which I won't get on TV with, but you know, someone was helping me at that time, and the one thing happened, then something else happened. The guy said, "Whoa, I don't know." You know. But that's neither here nor there. That's just
but one thing I do want to say that actually I'm working right now on a news project and with a young man named Kimball Hooker, and we just finished a song. I dedicated the song to my mother, who died of cancer, my sister, who died of cancer, and Sister Monica. Before I even knew tonight that this would. You know, when you invited me, that's what the show was going to be dedicated to. So I'm proud when that song comes out. It's called "Cancer Ain't Got Nothing on Me." I'm a 10-year breast cancer survivor myself. Going on 10 years right now. So I'm like, thankful to the Lord.
I'm also a cancer survivor.
That is wonderful.
With prostate.
Yes.
And so I've been a survivor for many years.
Yeah, we blessed.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of blessed, there's a young lady who is one of hear what you got to say, and certainly add to the richness of this vibrant conversation that we're having here on this program. And I guess with the same question, try to apply and see what the things influenced you and got you into the movement and the things that you're doing today.
Well, music for me, I started at a very early age. I was 2 years old, born in the 60s, and we lived in San Francisco, so my aunt had a band called the Hippie Sound, and they would perform at Golden Gate Park, and she was a conga player. And I used to hear her practice all the time, and my mom said I took a oatmeal box, turned it upside down, and I actually was making beats out of it. It made sense. It wasn't just like, you know, how little kids play on a toy or whatever. And it kind of stuck with me. I took music in school. Then I started playing clarinet. Then I was self-taught piano and guitar. I need to take some more lessons, but I'm able to produce music. So in high school, I played in the jazz band, and then after high school, I put a band together.
Okay.
Because then I started writing my own music and producing music.
Okay.
And was very pleased to work with a guy named, what is his name? Albert Burgos. Okay. And the first album was called True Love. And I found that going into the studio as a female producer, it was kind of hard because I guess they didn't really have that much faith in female being behind the scenes a little bit there, but when the product was finished, everybody was surprised and happy. After that, I got married, had 4 children, stopped doing music for a while, but I constantly wrote. It was like music pumping through the vein. Even though I was not able to go out and perform, I was constantly writing and producing because I had a studio at the house. I was born and raised in San Francisco, and then I moved to the suburbs, and now I'm in the Mountain View area.
Okay.
And the type of music that I grew up on was blues, jazz, the Beatles. So it was. I'm like her, you know. I grew up on a bit of everything, you know. The type of music that I like to do now it's like a contemporary jazz, and R&B for sure.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have. Speaking about all of you certainly have individuality. So that's very important, you know. Anything you do in the arts, especially on the creative side, and all 3 of you are very creative, and that's very meaningful in creation. And your backgrounds are so similar, you know. And,
when I heard her say she worked with Narda, I worked with Narda, Michael Walden, on one of my songs. Okay. And now I'm working with Polo Jones on another project. So.
Excellent.
Yeah,
basis.
So it's like
yeah, so like I say, there's nothing to say. It's more, look for more richness, and so I'm working on something else. And so what else? We covered it, and that's your influences got you up this far. But I'm also wondering, so what are some of the obstacles? You mentioned something about cats not realizing you as a producer. I'm always for the thing that. Yes, you can, you know, and it doesn't matter, you know, and you should get the same respects that everybody else gets, and not be belied because you're a female, you know. And I think there's a lot of, I don't know, how do you feel like that? Do you think that's going to change, or is it changing in the process right now?
Right now, I'd have to say, you know, in the beginning, like I will have my guitarist in the blues world, have my guitarist approach men about getting a show. Okay. But I have found that women can be difficult, just like a man. It just depends on the person. Yeah. And so it's kind of even, but I'd rather him go out there and talk, because you do get like feedback, like, oh, okay. Yeah, you know, you get. Yeah. I get that feedback, and it deters me, and that's why I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, you know,
it's almost like a condescending type of
very
thing.
Condescending. You know, I need a date for you to just sing here or whatever like that. And
that's happened to me many
excuses.
And exactly, and I don't care to be played like that. Yeah. So if they want to date him and he wants to date them, that's all fine with me.
This is the Bay Area.
Okay, this is the Bay Area. Okay. So more power to him, but you know, I would like to be shielded from that. To not so much that I'm frigid or anything. I'm very selective, and I'd rather it not be like that.
Yeah, well,
you know, I'd rather keep business. Keep
business, man. You don't
that's it.
Run into those kind of things.
But I've missed gigs because, you know, I won't fall back.
Well, see, I can see that as women, you have to maintain a certain dignity, man. Because if you don't, man, it's just like out the door, man. You always got to keep your. And same with a person like myself. You always keep an air of class about you. And it's not that you're not cohesive with your audiences, but you have to always keep that, I don't want to say separation, but that aura to keep their respect. You see, and you have to carry yourself, and you have to respect yourself to get respect.
Absolutely.
And that's how they go, man.
And
that's for men.
Any way it won't work.
That's for men and women.
Absolutely.
So I got to say, do the same job you guys do, man. Because if I slip, I ain't getting no respect, you know. And that's not only just playing the piano. I have to be respected as a man. Absolutely. Whether I play the piano or not, whatever I do, you got to have respect in what you do,
That's right.
and that maintains your personality. And if something runs, you'll run into it. Some nonsense. So long, have a nice day, or I can't talk. Get away from it, because all that does is irritate your spirit. And when you are in the creative, as we are, because I'm gonna mention myself and then throw myself in there too, because when you're as creative as we are, you can't sidetrack or be sidetracked by anything that's not equivocally suitable to the direction you want to go.
Correct.
You see, you can't be sidetracked and mess all up, because that's like if you get a thought, and I'm sure all of us have done this, you get an idea for a song, and then you're thinking about it, and you want to get it while it's hot, and then something distracts you. I don't know, whether somebody drops a plate on the floor outside, or a car horn blower. Oh no, you know, there you go. So I was just mentioning that as in a passing type of thing, and you know, there's something that we all face in the world of music.
Yeah, in the world of music, is true.
And then going back to the old days, now I'm gonna give you all a little shot of that with Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday.
Oh my,
they were rough, man. Sarah Vaughan, she was a good piano. She was a good piano player. A lot of people know that. And she played. Aretha played.
Oh, Aretha.
All of them. She's on fire, man. And another one. What's her name? I can't think of her name. She was later on in the 50s singing rhythm and blues.
Miss Tharp.
Yeah, she's one. Then don't forget Shirley Scott.
Shirley Scott.
She was fabulous. She played two pianos at once.
Yeah, she could.
Fabulous.
She could. So that's to mention just some of the things women, the things that Sarah Vaughan and Sarah Vaughan and all them went through. Beautiful voice, but Sarah was rough, man. Them cats, she had established her rank with them cats, because they messed with her because she's a woman, and she'd break a beer ball across the head.
That's right.
And she got respect. They said, don't mess with her, man.
R-E-S-P-E-T.
Yeah. He said, you mess with her, you won't be drinking the beer, you'll be wearing it. And bleeding too. So she had to do that, and that's really I don't see today quite as quite that bad.
I think so, Will.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
Let's face it. This still is a man's world.
Yeah. No, I meant as far as breaking beer bottles across the head.
Not
that's what I meant. But go ahead.
You might catch a case. But so far as the industry is concerned, it's still mostly controlled by men.
That's right.
So therefore, they still want the couch situation. Yes. If you're not a strong woman and have respect for yourself as an individual, so nobody can put you down, because if you don't believe in oneself and one's own material, you have to put your flavor on whatever you do. You agree?
I do.
You have to put your own flavor on whatever you do, and especially when you're doing original stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You can be careful with that.
Exactly. You have to know more than just your music in this industry now. You have to know about the licensing. You have to know how to copyright. You need to know, what's her name, the young lady, they have all these new websites for you to put your music on, you know, iTunes and Spotify. But Taylor Smith, she was the first person, even beat Beyonce 1 week and got 1 million hits. You got everything is updated.
You have to know how to market.
You have to know how to market yourself and have a team of marketers to help you to promote your music, because otherwise you're just left out. Yeah,
because the way they do the things now, because I got a bunch of CDs. I'm physically trying to. I'm not short of going out there on the corner and
Yeah.
You were just doing them.
Most of those rappers and people got.
Yeah, that's how they got started.
That's how they got started, out the trunk of their car.
That's right.
Well,
You know,
Underground.
not too many women have been in the history of doing. Angela Winbush is one of the few. You know, she was Mr. the one with the Isley brother.
Oh, yeah,
his ex-wife. She was one of the few female producers. There's not too many. The rappers, Missy Elliott and those people, you know, and Beyonce, she produces all of her own. And like I said, Taylor Swift and all these young girls, they understand about the industry, what gets you paid when it comes to getting your money, because otherwise you get
Nothing.
Screwed without the grease.
Yes, okay.
I want to bring my friend. She said over there, I see your wheels turning.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what the wheels are turning out. And we certainly have a beautiful conversation. I'm enjoying myself. I know I talk a lot, but I'll be quiet. Let you ladies, it's your show. And just what do you think about just what we just discussed? Any thoughts?
I think it's absolutely true
like
what
that?
these ladies are saying. I mean, as far as like when Diva said, as far as like if you go out and try to book your shows, and you know there is that come on that they try to put on. I have a perfect example. This guy wanted me to do a show for a specific place, and we're going over the price, and I'm letting him know, you know, it's going to be covers and maybe a few originals mixed in. And he's like, well, he agreed to it. Then when it got down to the monies,
yeah,
he tried to lowball me and tried to tell me, he goes, well, just to let you know, I was going to get this person and this person and this person. And so I just did. Well, why didn't you get that person? Obviously.
Yeah. Well, ladies, this has been a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, I want to kind of put the brakes on everything. And y'all out there, listening, this is some very talented young ladies in the area here. And again, I thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And I ain't done yet. Oh, Lord. Let me get up here. I got to do something.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah. One for you.
Thank you.
And one for you.
Wow.
And and one for you.
Thank you so much.
Let's say thank you for coming to the show. And y'all out there in the audience, I didn't forget you either.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So let's see. All right. Is that about right? Yeah. You'll say, So again, look, tune in on in the arts. We always got something happening, and I'm sure you enjoy it as much as I have, having these three lovely examples of women in music. Here they are. And also able to dedicate the show to the memory of Sister Monica Parker, who is also a great force in this world of music. And you can please send your comments to me on my email. It's Wilbur_Nichols2003 @ yahoo.com. And again, I want to thank my crew and KMVT Channel 15 for letting me have the likes of such good shows as these. And we're looking forward to doing more stuff in the future. And yeah, and you guys also, I don't know if I can get each one of you to say your futures. You did pretty good in the talking thing, got some of your futures happening, and I certainly wish you well.
Could I get my website up? So
Sure enough.
You can go on my website and check out everything that I'm doing in the Bay Area and around the world. Got some gigs coming up in France and also in India for the late spring. It's www.diva lady LADEE Chico.com.
All right.
DivaLadyChico.com. Check me out. We can hook up.
And you got a website there or something?
Yeah, I also have a website. It's BridgetMarieMusic.com. And you can check out where my shows will be. And yeah.
And I'm Diva Stativa. I think it's at Wix.com.
All right. All right.
Use that one more time. Okay.
All right. So there you have it. Man, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. No, not really. I've enjoyed myself, and I couldn't have had a better show with any better people. So again, I just want to thank you, and again, that's a small token of my thanks there to have you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome, man. And what can I say about that? I look forward to things out of the future for you, and again, as I said earlier, a bright and prosperous future to you. And and y'all, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. So I want to get that in there, and and whatnot, and proceed with a positive note, and keep good thoughts, and a clear mind, and keep focused on the direction that you want to go, and you know, don't let nothing, like I said, knock you off your course. You know, and avoid the nonsense. You know, and when it comes your way, you'll know.